Okay, the second Sicha. This Sicha is printed in also Chedek Chav Daled, volume 24, Eikev. This is the second Sicha. Ifim pasuk Ki Hashem Alekeichem Hu Alekim V'Gomer Asher Yisuf Panim L'Ikach Sheichad. Regarding the pasuk that says, "For Hashem Yashem, He is Hashem of," pasuk says, Elekei Alekim, divine beings. Then the pasuk says, "Who does not show favor," the Eibusher doesn't show favor and does not take a bribe. So up to Rashi. So Rashi says, what does it mean? L'Yisuf Panim, He does not show favor. If you cast off His yoke, He will not show favor to you. And the Eibusher does not take a bribe. The Faisi b'mamim to appease Him with money. That's what it says. Moshe Rabbeinu is saying that Hashem is L'Yisuf Panim, which means if you're going to cast off His yoke, He will not do you a favor. And also, He doesn't take a bribe. He does not take a bribe. That means you cannot appease Hashem with the money. The Rebbe says, we have to understand it. What is Rashi adding by explaining that who does not show favor applies to somebody who is tifruku oilei, who casts off his yoke? Then soll der Eibusher nit neisef panim sein. Shas mis mekayim teda mitzvahs and Michael Mashmalon. So the question is, when else would Hashem not show favor? Well, when we do observe Teda mitzvahs. So what is Rashi telling us? Obviously, He's not going to show favor L'Yisuf Panim if somebody is casting off the yoke of Hashem. Obviously, if somebody shows favor, if somebody's doing the right thing, of course Hashem is going to show a favor. That's the Mefarshim asked this question. The Rebbe says, Zogim Mefarshim. The commentaries say, as Rashi kumbavarnin, das was da steht L'Yisuf Panim. Und früher in Berachas Kohanim steht Yisa Hashem Panim V'Lecha. Some commentaries explain that Rashi is addressing an apparent contradiction between the pasuk of an our pasuk who does not show favor and the previous psukim in regards to Berachas Kohanim. What does it say? May Hashem show favor to you. So we're saying Hashem L'Yisuf Panim does not show favor. And then in the Berachas Kohanim, we're saying, Yisa Hashem Panim V'Lecha. Hashem should show favor to you. That's what's bothering Rashi. Rashi Mefarsh as though is English. So therefore Rashi explains that here is different. Well, so that's in Tifruku Oilei, because here we're dealing with a situation when you cast off the yoke. So this is the Mefarshim, the Devek Toy, the Maskal David, the Mlachas HaKedesh. This is their question. This is how they answer it. And the Rebbe obviously doesn't like this answer. Why not? It says, Aber Alfnit moving. Still not, it's not understood. It needs clarification. My Kamashmalan. What is Rashi telling us? As is the Cheda moving Ma'asmi, as the Yisuf Panim is in Tifrukoili, Befrat Nafta Arichas Bezefri and Pashas Pukukese. Even if you want to say that it's the apparent contradiction, still, you have to, it's self-evident, particularly when you have a lengthy illustration regarding earlier in Parshas B'chukei. Well, another question. Furthermore, in the Parshas Nasai, when it says may Hashem show favor, so what does Rashi say? It means he should suppress his anger. So comes out as dort afal as is do kase over mele the siba if kase. So obviously, when we say Yisa Hashem Panim V'Lecha means that Hashem should suppress his anger. So in other words, we're talking about a situation where his anger exists. So certainly there's a cause for his anger. Why is the cause for Hashem's anger? Is when a person behaves contrary to his will. And nevertheless, Pasuk says, may Hashem show favor. If so, the contradiction between the two psukim. If you're saying that means Rashi is saying he should suppress his anger, that means we have a situation where there's anger. We have a situation that there's anger. And yet, what does the Torah say? The Torah is saying that we're saying that Hashem should not show anger to who? To the people who are doing His Ratzon. Obviously, it's people that are not doing His Ratzon. So now the question comes out: why? What is based on this? If it's a stira, it comes out that the pasuk it's mamash a stira now. Is it like Yisa Panim or Yisa Hashem Panim Yelacha? Base. In the Sveitim Pirush from Rashi, we also have to understand the second remark of Rashi. Yikach Sheichad. Rashi says we're telling the Eibush to Yikach Sheichad why the Faisib B'Mamin to appease him with money. So the Rebbe says like this: Bishlema does was Rashi get to them for the Faisib Agam and pasuk that's Vegin Sheichad. Now we can understand where Rashi added the words to appease him. Even though the pasuk says, sheichad, bribery is, the aim is mevar moving b'pashtus. This is like the aim explains. Asheichad b'chol mokim ma'adayin pasavadam can make it in the zakis is a chayiv, ibusadin. Or the levat loy einshi. Shemizbar loyibol boy the zakis is a chayiv rat levat einish. Now, we can understand. Rashi adds the words. You can understand why Rashi says the words the faisei. To appease him. What does it mean? V'leikach sheichad. Pasuk says don't bribe him. So Rashi, I can understand why it says the faisei, to appease him. Why? Because even though the pasuk uses a general term bribe, as the aim explains. And it's self-evident that bribery, generally, when speaking of a human judge, can refer either to acquitting the guilty, which that's perverting the justice, or to waiving the punishment. But Hashem would never consider acquitting the guilty or to waive the punishment. The Rebbe Rashi Madlish as the pasuk that's vegan azah sheicha was taken is the fires. But says vitera inish nit lezakis is a chayiv from dust darf nit shelzan. So therefore, Rashi emphasizes that this pasuk refers to a bribe that a person gives to Hashem to appease him, to waive the punishment, but not to acquit him when he's guilty, as this doesn't need to be ruled out. So basically what the Rebbe is doing is he's focusing now on the second part of Rashi. The faisei b'mammon. So b'ishleim, the word v'la faisei, even though the pasuk uses the word sheichad, like the aim says, the sheikha doesn't mean, the sheikha by dayan can mean either to make the person who's chayiv zeicha, or just to take away, to acquit his punishment. And Hashem does not mzaka the chayiv and take away the punishment. Therefore, Rashi stresses how the pasuk is speaking about a sheikha, which is the fayis, which means that Hashem does not be mevater the einish. Verstandig, the b'mamin in Pirush Rashi. Kushas re'im li'daiti ma mamin neifel itzal gadish baruch hu v'lama Pirush v'likah sheichel ha'mitzvah ba'avur avedo. However, the word with money, as the aim asks, I don't understand how money could influence Hashem. Why doesn't Rashi explain? Zayin Pirush da is nobody gave them v'or sheichel. As das is pius, and as the pius b'shtei durch mamin. So, first of all, why does Rashi add the word moment? As the aim says, I don't understand how money could influence Hashem. Why doesn't Rashi explain? In the form of a mitzvah, the person performs to atone for his transgressions. In addition, why does Rashi cite the pasuk of, and does not take from the pasuk, his explanation only addresses the word sheichad, clarifying that, number one, it appears to appeasement, and the appeasement is with money. Let's do a little bit more. Gimel. If there kusha would have from the aim gefidmin, Mefarshim comment citizen. The Mefarshim offer various answers to address their aim's question. Aleph. Mit the moment da vertiment thus bringing a korban zum Eibishter. Money in this context refers to bringing a korban to Hashem. But the pasuk los uns der mitheden, and the pasuk is informing us as zevach l'shem te'evo. Pasuk is telling us that the sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination. Calls man and nit tshuva getan, vert sein korban nit angenommen. Until he performs proper tshuva, his korban is not to be accepted. Now, the inyan from the Feise b'mam make lashon hakosher frier v'yikhuli truma. Yeder mamen was mizmagdish li l'shmi l'tzorkei mishkan. Amigdash kiyetzu b'zeh. The pasuk sagt, dass mit nesilas mamen legeweya can man nit arabnemen dem einish von aveda seitens of tshuvaton. Okay, so we're saying this. First of all, money in this context refers to bringing a korban to Hashem. With the pasuk telling us that the sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination until he performs tshuva. So that's, now, what does it mean to appease him with money? This refers to all money given for the sake of Hashem, for the Mishkan fund, or the Beis Hamikdash fund, or similar causes, as the pasuk says, they shall take to me a portion. Our pasuk informs us that donating money towards holy causes does not remove the punishment of sin unless tshuva was performed. And Gimel Mammon made yet the mitzvah is forbidden with the sinas Mammon, as if it's stuck yetz was a canal, as thus is the mafsik. And money refers to any mitzvah connected with giving money, such as the mitzvah of tzedakah or the like, and these donations do not suffice, as discussed above. So that's how the Re'im asked the question, how does money come in over here? So the Re'im explains, the Mefarshim explained that Mammon over here speaks about a korban to Hashem. That doesn't matter if you bring a korban to Hashem, zevach Hashem te'eba, if you don't do tshuva. The Feise b'mammon means, what does it mean? Like the Torah says, choli truma, all the money for the Beis Hamikdash, and the pasuk tells us that even if you give money to the Beis Hamikdash, it doesn't take away if you don't do tshuva. And mammon also means that every mitzvah is connected with nesilas makim, like tzedakah. The Rebbe says, "Aber die Trutzen verantwortet nur der Chedek Hatafel von Kushus Harein. Wie kann sein Messias von Kabbalas Mammon beim Ebersten, aber der Ike Shada bleibt im Kemi." Now, these explanations only address like a lesser of the Re'im's question. How can giving money to Hashem be feasible? But the main question remains. Bald the time was can sein Akasol Gadai der Hazemamin can help an apple von Sheikh Kiviyachol. By Ebersten is nit wie Mammon bei Bas Verdam was the Dain hat erzählt von der Mammon go for nur. Weil damit wird getan am Mitzvah gebracht, der Korban Kitzub, es für was der Nashi euch bei Mitzvah Moment, meistens am Mitzvah durch Nesilas Mammon und von alle anderen Mitzvahs. So the Rebbe asks, the basis for there to be consideration of this money having the effect of bribery, or the judge benefits from the money personally, instead, it's because the person performs a mitzvah with the money, offering a korban or something else. As such, why does Rashi use the specific wording of a mitzvah performed with money? What difference does it make whether a mitzvah performed by giving money or any other mitzvah? V'frat, leit pirish as es redt sich wegen a korban, welches is nichayach, nachgesucht von der Hebach von Kassei, aber Rashi sich darf sagen klar, the Feise bekorban, nicht der Name is sein, if dem nicht in Wortwillen is. So, if we're talking about the korban, of course, Rashi doesn't have to just say mammon. Rashi could just say korban or something else. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. Have a good day.
Yeah.